What's up, Tipsies? This is Twyla's Tipsy Travelz, and I am here with another Random Observations movie edition. Alright, first of all, let's start off by saying ignore Mount Kilimanjaro on the bottom of my face. The life of an adult with cystic acne. And I don't know, I've been moody. I think my hormones are going nuts, and so it decided to make itself known. It's really ridiculous. Anyway, I apologize for how long it's taken to get another video out. I have been going through a big funk, and it's hormonal as well as just, I don't know, I have a big trip coming up, so I'm trying not to do too much. So I guess staying in the house, sticking around, whatever, trying not to spend too much money, stuff like that. It's just kind of, and I guess I'm just blah. And then the dating is not good right now. It is not good. That is for another video. Anyway, so I've been in a blue funk, and today is the first day I think that I feel more myself again. And so I went to the movies for the second time at a different theater, same company, just different theaters in different side of town. Anyway, and my first experience versus this experience is what makes me want to do this video, because there are some differences with movie going here than back home. Very few, but it's, whatever. Okay, so first things first that I noticed at the theater closer to the city center, as well as this one that's is called Ocean Terminal, which it's basically it's a mall that's connected or right at the pier or whatever, right at the water. So what I noticed is the popcorn. So back home and with my parents, we have a ritual. I bought, when I lived in California and worked at Sam's Club, I bought a popcorn kit. It was popcorn and M&Ms, and it was in it had a bucket, a reusable plastic bucket that had the M&M faces on it. The characters, little M&M faces. So I love that bucket. I've kept that bucket, and when I go to the movies with my parents, I bring my bucket with me. We get a large popcorn, and instead of me constantly having to reach over and grab some or whatever, or using those stupid little cardboard boxes that they give you, my dad dumps, at least almost half of his into my little bucket. So we have a little ritual, and then we bring popcorn salt. Don't know if you guys know that there is popcorn salt, and popcorn salt is fantastic for popcorn as well as French fries, because this salt is so fine that it actually sticks instead of drops to the bottom. So we bring our salt and a popcorn bucket. So at the theater, I was just like, oh, do you guys have any salt to, shake on? They're like, no. And I'm like, all right. And then she gives me a cup to taste it, and I'm looking at this popcorn, and it's looking mighty bland. It's white. It's completely white. There's none of that golden gorgeousness, So I'm like, this is gonna be bad. And I taste it, and I'm like, oh my. Oh, that's so good. I'm like, okay. Well, I realize in Europe, and I know with the UK and Brexit, this could all change, but as of right now, it hasn't. In Europe, there's regulations against things that are harmful to the citizens of their countries. And we don't have that in the US. So that golden stuff that they spread on our popcorn at the movie theater, it's only golden to make it aesthetically pleasing. So it has artificial coloring in it to make it aesthetically pleasing. Here, they're not putting artificial color on their seasoning. So it's just white. It doesn't look as gorgeous as the golden, but you know dang well that you're not getting poisoned or whatever. So I'm just like, ain't that about nothing? I tell you. But anyway, they perfectly season, or for me as a person who kind of likes salt a little bit more than I should, they perfectly salt their popcorn. I don't know how they do it, but it is perfect. It's not too salty, and it is not bland. I'm just like, this is the most amazing freaking popcorn. Oh my God. I'm like, I gotta go to the movies more just to eat the popcorn. Or I need to go to the movie theater, get some popcorn, and take it back, which I actually did that once. I did. I went to the movie theater, I got me some popcorn, and then I left. I didn't even go to the theater. I used to do that all the time back home with my parents. Anyway, so that is random observation number 1. Popcorn is the bomb and doesn't have artificial coloring on it. Random observation number 2 is the previews, the commercials and the previews before the movie begins. Holy moly. So, you know, in the States, if you get to the theater before the movie starts, there's, you know, usually some running advertisement. And then once the movie gets started, you might have a handful of ads, and then quite a few previews, which I love previews, by the way. Quite a few previews, and then after that, you know, the movie starts, and it's usually 15 minutes. You, like, the marquee tells you the movie's going to start at 2:30. More than likely, the actual movie is going to start at 2:45. We all know this. And, you know, some people stroll in around 2:45 when I'm just like, how could you miss previews? Anyway, here, the commercials and the previews are so long that it's a half an hour. So if your movie starts at 2:30, the marquee says that the movie starts at 2:30, it's starting at 3. And actually, thank God for that when I went to the movies the other day. The first time I went to the movies over at the theater closer to the city center, which the theater company is called View. V-U-E. View Cinema. So I go to the one closer to the city center, and I went to see Mission Impossible Fallout. Whatever. With Henry. Anyway, so I went to go see Mission Impossible, and yeah, that was the first time, and I go, and I always get there early. So now I've gotten there early, and they give you, third observation, they give you assigned seating, like no matter what. Even if it's like a not busy matinee, they're like, where would you like to sit? And for me, I'm like middle. I want the middle row, in the middle of the row. Like that's me. I want middle. And so they always give you that. But anyway, I get there early, and I'm just like, all right, so I'm here early, whatever. Then the previews start, and I'm just like, sweet Jesus. Like, when is the actual movie gonna start? And I was like, I think it's been like a half an hour. And I'm like, what? And so this time, when I went to the movie theater over at Ocean Terminal, I got there a little bit, like the bus was a little late, and I was getting there a little late. And then when I got there, I forgot it was a bank holiday, so all the kids were out of school, and there was this huge line, and I'm like, oh man. But then I'm like, oh wait, previews are like half an hour. So when I went up, I went to see Crazy Rich Asians, because it finally came to this theater. And so I'm just like, yeah, they're like, you want that for the half past, or whatever, you know, well, I can't remember how they say it. 2:30 or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, and I go, the previews are long, right? And they're like, yeah, it's like a half an hour. I'm like, okay. And then I got in there, and sure enough, I made it just in time. I think there was one preview left, and then the movie started. I'm like, I made it in time. So crazy. Like half an hour. So take your time if you ever come. And so, yes, the seating is assigned, and when I went to the theater by the city center, which you would think the theater by the city center would be nicer. They're the same company, but you would think it would be nicer because it's closer to the city center. And while the seats were very comfortable and it was very nice and I liked it, the one at Ocean Terminal, I swear, I don't care how far that I would live from Ocean Terminal. If I ever lived in another part of this city, I would take the bus all the way to Ocean Terminal to go to the movies. Because, oh my God. Like, I don't know how well you can see this, but look at this. Look at the gloriousness. Like, for real. First of all, it has a movable tray that you set your food on. And you know how annoying it is when you're like trying to balance the popcorn on your lap while you get adjusted and sit your purse down, or you get your drink in the holder, or take your coat off or do whatever. And I'm just like, this thing has a little table that moves. Oh my God. So the little table was amazing. And then I sit down on this chair that's like a big old recliner, and I'm just like, oh my. But then I realized my feet aren't touching the ground at all. Like, I feel like a little child in this big old chair. And I'm just like, my feet aren't touching the ground. I'm like, what is going on? And I look back, and I'm just like, oh my God, are people, is this reclining? And I look down to the side of the seat, and sure enough, there are 2 buttons. And I start tapping on the buttons, and this thing starts going up, and I said, oh no! Well, I didn't say oh no like loud, out loud, but in my head, I'm like, what? No way! So I'm like, I let the seat come on up, and I'm just like, I'm like, this is the best movie theater experience ever. And it was a regular theater. It's not like, you know, sometimes you go to specific theaters in the US, at least where I've lived, where you go to specific theaters so that you can, you know, get the ones that have the reclining chairs, and then those are the ones that might have food that you can order, or this, that, and the other. I was like, oh my God, I don't know, this is fantastic. And then, another observation is, which I have not utilized yet because I've been going to matinees, like, you know, because I'm going to the movies by myself. So, but since I'm going during the day, I haven't actually partook in this particular awesomeness. But I noticed that they have beers in a cooler. Like, I'm like, yes. Like, you go up to the concession stand, get your popcorn, and then get you a beer. I'm like, yes, this is fantastic. Why is this not a thing in the U.S.? But, like, so, instead of, you know, like having a waitress or something like that, and it's a specialty theater where you can get booze, I'm like, no, this is just a regular theater, and you get booze. So, all those things were pretty amazing, except for the really long previews, but and commercials, advertising. It's just like, sweet Jesus. Now, I love previews, but they can save all that advertising. Good Lord. Whew. Half an hour. So just make sure you either, if you want to make sure you don't miss the previews, get to the theater like right on time. Right on time. Don't get there early. Just right on time, because you'll be good. But yeah, it's a pretty sweet movie-going experience. View Cinemas. I am a fan and must make sure that I go to the movies a couple more times before I leave, because that is just glorious. I'll be spoiled rotten. And the next video, I'm going to try and articulate what is happening in my dating life. I don't know if I'll be able to, without giving away information that I'm not ready to divulge. That's coming soon. Probably in the exact same clothes that I'm wearing because I need to try and do the video now. Okay, great. Anyway, that's that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, a love. Comment down below. Comment down below. Subscribe, follow, Facebook, YouTube, whichever. I'm here to entertain. And as always, stay tipsy, my friends.